So my name is Joseph Adeleye. I'm an international music teacher with over 22 years of experience teaching across early years music to high school level. I had a few chances at teaching at the tertiary level as well. I have a strong passion for music and a very good academic background. I have a first-class master's of arts in music education from the Lagos State University, Nigeria. I'm also certified by the government of Alberta, Canada, in the early years education sector. So I have a lot of passion with training young people, particularly. I would say, I have a soft spot for having children. People take on music education at an early age and grow with it to enjoy the copious advantages thereof.
Yes.
So I also teach. I teach here. I teach at Coles Music Academy in Nigeria.
Okay.
I also have the privilege of teaching at Birmingham, at the UK, remotely. I teach from Nigeria, as well as other countries in the Western world. That's a little bit about me.
So thanks a lot for giving a short intro of yourself, sir. So, Sir Joseph, the
Yes,
first
sir.
question which I want to ask you, do you think that when we introduce music in early age to our kids, it really helps in overall development?
It does. It does. I mean, particularly when we do it with understanding. I mean, you need to know the advantages so that when you deploy that, the children are able to take the best or maximize the advantages thereof. It starts with that's an early stage of maturation in children. So early music education would help them develop their brains, the use of their brain to be able to have the hand and eye coordination. And the neural connections between your eye and your hands or whatever part of your body you're using to make music. It helps with language development as well. So if you introduce it to them, you're actually making other aspects of children a lot better and easier to build or to foster. Language development, memorization, you're building their memory, you're tapping into the various cortex of the brain. And it was almost like the creator designed our brains to be enhanced by music from childhood, you know?
Yeah.
I was looking at the analogy of I was looking at the structure of the brain scientifically, and every cortex, every point has what music can build, from the memory to the remembrance, to the psychomotor level, the performance, the movements. I've been a part of admissions in my experience at one of the international schools where I taught. Music was one of the first things they would administer to children to discover if they had one challenge or the other, if they had any learning challenge or disability, you know, so you could place them aright. So music is that important from early childhood, you know?
Yeah. Okay. So when parents want to enroll their kid in music learning process, so they have three choices: whether they should choose the instrument for their beginning, they can choose vocals, or they can choose instrument and vocals for both for their kids journey. So what do you think, which is better way to start when the parents want to start their kids music journey? They should opt for the instrument, vocals, or instrument plus vocals both?
Oh, well, I would say first, you need to observe the child. The child is the central focus in all of this. You need to observe the interest of your child. If I have a child, or if you have a child as a parent that loves singing, sings all over the place, I mean, gets coming, even the instrument attracts or tickles that child's fancy. The voice tickles the fancy more than the instrument, or the instrument tickles the child's fancy more than the instrument. You go from there. A child that loves turning everything you have into drum sets, turns your plates, your dishes, your culinaries, you know, your cutleries into, I mean, that's a drummer shouting so loud there. You probably want to start off with the drums. I think you look at it from the child's interest, even though I also encourage that a dose or a reasonable degree of vocal music should accompany the instrumentation. So I would say both, but when it comes to the choice of the instrument, look at the child's interest, and bring in some vocal music as well to blend in with your instrumentation. And there are many ways of doing this now in musical training. The child is taking on piano. At some point, lyrics comes into the piece he's trying to play. You could say the letters of whatever he cites reading. You could say go to the next step, integrate the lyrics into what they are doing or playing on the instrument. So it's fine that way, my opinion.
Got it, sir. So now, suppose the parents have got the interest that the particular kid is interested in instrument. So which instrument do you think is good to start with? Like most of the time in schools and colleges here in India, we have keyboard, piano, drums, as well as guitar. So these are very common instruments. So which instrument, as per you, is good to start with for the young learners?
Well, I would always regard the piano as a master instrument because it engages the left and the right hand, gives you the chance to build the left and the right hemisphere of the brain. So I think the piano is quite a nice starting point. Recorders too, like you said, in India, other parts of the world too, there are some common instruments like the drums, but those can come in. But I think that the child should get an opportunity to probably start with some piano lessons, and be able to navigate into other instruments from there, as they so wish. Yes.
Okay. So whenever kids learn vocals or instrument, or till now we are also learning, so we have a staff sheet in front of us so that we can read and play. So if I'm putting one situation in front of you, we have two students, both are interested in music, both are getting opportunity to learn instrument. So but one is interested in learning how to read and play, and the other one is interested in playing or playing by ears. So what do you think, whose musical development will be better? The kid who is involved with reading, or the kid who is not involved with reading and playing by ear?
I would suggest or agree with the one who learns how to read music from the start, because this is a new language. This is new language. The language has its alphabets, has its language system, has its nitty-gritties, and I believe that the one who reads is actually a good way to go, because it's easier to pick that up from the start. Oftentimes when you see kids or children who start off without reading music, they may struggle, So, but when you start off with reading, it becomes second nature to you, and it's easier to also integrate music by ears, memory, and all of that into the system. I think that really is a good foundation to go.
Okay, so when you were in your student life, yes, please continue, sir.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Well, that's not to say that we don't believe in the importance of music by ears. That's not to relegate that in any way. But for a foundation, that's it's my opinion, to have the music by reading the sheet music and all of that at first. Yes.
Okay. So when you were in your student life, like grade 4, 5, 6, 7, so which instrument you were playing at that time in your school?
I started off with the piano. And the recorder, the piano and the recorder, so, almost simultaneously.
Which is your forte instrument now, sir?
Oh, my major is the piano. Even though I play a lot of instruments, but piano is still remains my first love, and that's my major instrument in training.
That's really nice, sir. So when the kids are involved in music, whether they are in school or they are in college, so they have pressure of studies also. They have other career opportunities also, because not all students are involved 110% in music, or they are going to choose music as a career, but few are enjoying or learning as a hobby also. So the kids or the students who are studying other grades, other subjects, but taking music as a hobby, sometimes they come to their teacher that they are dealing with stress for their studies, for their examination. So do you recommend
Yeah.
to listen music, to play music at that time so that their stress level can get decreased?
Yes, I would recommend that too. I mean, you could have them build those two at the same time. You don't have the privilege to take. Yes.
Okay. So what kind of music you suggest to your students who tells their problem to you that they are dealing with stress?
Oh yeah, stress management. Oh well, it will depend on the nature of the stress. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Like I have had some of those cases. I would say maybe some happy music. You're sad, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
Get some happy music, some music that is fast in tempo.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
Yes. That takes your mind away from your current predicament.
Mm.
I mean, there are times when, to somebody who is used to very soft and cool and calm music, that may just be the right time to bring in some rock and roll and just rock away the stress or the sorrow. But for a relaxing moment, for times when you want to relax,
Mm-hmm.
I would suggest some cool jazz music.
Okay.
Cool jazz music would do it for you. It could be instrumental, it could be with the vocals, a slower tempo to help you unwind. I think a lot of jazz and even the content, the lyrical content of the music would also determine what I'm recommending, depending on the individual in question.
So may I know like which is your favorite genre of music?
Wow. Okay, I'm quite versed and I've learned to build love for several genres. And with all due respect to my friends who like certain genres, I think jazz. Jazz is quite educational. And I love classical music and jazz, I would say those two. And I love me some R&B too. I love some R&B. I have a bias for those three, I would say. I mean, on a good day, those are my favorites.
Okay, thank
Yes.
you. Sir. Thanks a lot for sharing your experiences. So now coming
pleasure.
from moving from kids towards adults who are like working somewhere, whether they are in private or a public sector, or they are employed as a teacher working with an organization. So right now in today's life, each and everyone is dealing with stress. Stress can be related with
Yeah.
their personal life, personal issues, as well as work-related stress or the workplace stress, which I call. So when we feel stress because of our work culture, because of our work stress, so how do you think that music can also help those individuals who are dealing with stress?
Oh, okay, well, for such individuals, if you get the chance to bring music into your work environment, I think it's fine.
Mm.
There are some job functions that music wouldn't be conflicting to have in the environment. So you talk about environmental music. So you can be deliberate about the kind of music you bring into your workplace or your work zone. That helps you to focus. Yeah, your favorite music, your favorite genre brings out the best in you any day, anytime. So you want to work above your stress level. You want to deliver optimally. Yeah, bring music, even if it means plug in some earpiece. Bring in music to stabilize your mood, to help you to perform top notch.
Okay.
And well, in environments where you can bring in music, you have your break time.
Exactly.
Like a few days ago, I met a nurse and also a neurosurgeon who are both saxophonists,
Uh-huh.
and they were sharing with me how they use that to unwind and to stabilize their mood, to manage their stress during the break time.
Okay.
So when it's time to take a coffee break, he goes in to his inner office, plays some beautiful scales, and he comes out refreshed and better focused to get the job done. So there are ways around it. Music is your company. Music is your friend. Music is your sure plug for stress management any day, anytime.
Okay. So these working professionals, like not all, but few also want to learn instrument. Maybe it can be guitar or maybe it can be piano, but they don't get time for that because whenever they come from their office or from their workplace, they are completely tired. So what suggestions you want to give to those people who are working but still want to start their music journey?
Okay, I would say number one, be determined. It's possible. You can, out of no time, you could also try to spare time. It depends on what you have prioritized. But as to the possibility of you learning in that age and with the workload, it is quite possible. Yesterday, I had a student in Birmingham. She's a system analyst.
Okay.
Very, very busy person, very busy schedule.
Hmm.
But she takes time out, and I, as an instructor, had to make extra sacrifice since due to the different time zones. Sometimes I stay up at late at night to be able to cater to do night to offer class night lessons to such cater of students. So they see my sacrifice, and they're also encouraged to sacrifice further. I can understand why I'm teaching, and I mean, sometimes they forget their stress when it comes to class, because music is taught in a very lively way. Music is life itself.
Yeah.
So just take that bull by the horn. It's possible to learn that instrument you've always desired to. Age is not a demerit. Age is your merit. Age is your advantage. Age is your advantage. Okay? Even the fact that you have a lot going on in your life is an advantage to take on that instrument and learn.
Got your point, sir. So now, one last question from you, sir. What suggestions you want to give to the young learners who want to start their musical journey?
Well, to the young learners, I would say you're making a great choice. And I would also say to those who probably don't know the values, perhaps it's the parents who knows the value and knows what they are really giving you. Your parents are giving you some of the best things you'll be grateful for. So you make the best of it. Be committed to practicing daily. It's really not in the length of hours. It's not in the several hours you give daily, but it's in the consistency of those few minutes to the hour you give into practice. Be committed to practicing, and don't give up. You go from stage to stage.
Yes.
What we call scaffolded learning. Learning stages. Be patient with the process, and you will do well.
Okay. So, thanks a lot, sir, for giving your time here. And
thanks, Mr. Ayush.
It was a very nice talking with you. Like, your information and your insights are valuable for me as well as those who are going to listen this podcast through our social media handles. So once again, sir, thanks a lot for accepting our invitation. In India, we generally thanks like holding our hands like this. So thanks a lot.
Yeah. Thank you too. Thank you, Mr. Ayush.
Okay, sir. Bye, sir. Have a great day.
Yeah. Thank you. All right. All the best.
For more details, visit www.88studiolko.com.